Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I actually already filmed this video and edited the whole thing, and as I was editing I realized I did not film an intro. So that's what I'm doing right now. This is not the makeup look I created for this video at all, but if you'd like to see the makeup look I did create, then just keep on watching. Okay, so let's get straight into it. I'm not going to use any primer today. I'm just going to go straight in with foundation, and the foundation I'm going to use is the new Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation. I got sent the press pack of this the end of last week, and so far I've only used it about twice and I really like it. So it is full coverage, it's more of a semi-matte finish, and I feel like it really blurs out the skin. So I'm going to use this with an AYU foundation brush the way I always do, and this shade I'm using is 3.3. So my fake tan is actually quite dark at the moment, and the 3.3 is a decent enough match actually. I could probably go a little bit darker. I'm still trying to find like my perfect shade out of all of the colours, but this will do for now. It's definitely more of a yellow undertone, this colour, so if you do wear fake tan, or if you are naturally tanned, this is really nice. Okay, so next up for my concealer, I'm going to use the MAC Studio Fix 24 Hour Smooth Wear Concealer. So this, I'm pretty sure, is the exact same as their original Studio Fix concealer. It's just with way better packaging. So it actually has an applicator this time, whereas their original one had the pump, and then you had to like pump it onto the back of your hand and then apply it. So this is way easier. I'm not actually sure if the formula is different. If you do know, then comment down below, because I haven't even looked it up, I'm just lazy. But I love this. I love the original one, I love this one. And the shade I'm using is NC30 in the usual areas. Under my eyes, this is when I start to look crazy. Center of my forehead, down the center of my nose. I apply it on my eyelids as an eyeshadow base as well. When I actually worked in MAC for like Christmas temp, that's when this was launched, so a good few years ago. And I remember getting like trained in on the product, and basically you could use it as an eyeshadow primer. It was one of the things that they claimed as well. So ever since then, whenever I use this, I always use it as an eyeshadow primer. I use all my concealers as an eyeshadow primer since that. But yeah, just thought that was a little bit of a fun fact. And then to blend in the concealer, oh my god, I actually look crazy. Like, this is when I hope that a delivery man does not call to the door right now, because I can't go down and answer it like this. Anyway, to blend all of this in, I'm going to use a damp beauty blender and just bounce it into the skin. So I'm not really sure if I've mentioned it already, but I really rate this concealer. I think it's really good. I've used it a few times now, and it's just, it can do no wrong in my eyes. I really like it. I have this spot here. It's actually not even a spot. It's like, you know when you attack a spot and then it turns into like a scab, dry skin, and then takes years to actually disappear from your face. That's what this is. Okay, so next up, to set all of the cream products on my face, I'm going to use the RCMA Original No Colour Powder. This I actually really like. I know some people don't like it, but I really do. The only thing I find annoying is I do have to put it on the back of my hand or like on a surface, because you just like pour it out this way. So that is kind of annoying because it can get quite messy, but I mean, it's not the end of the world, obviously. But to set under my eyes, I use the clean side of the damp beauty blender and pick up the powder and then apply this underneath quite heavily. So I always apply the setting powder underneath my eyes and on my eyes first before all the concealer and stuff starts to crease. And then I'll use whatever is left. No, I'll apply more. Why am I lying? So applying a bit more, and then same here. I basically bake the center of my face, which if you watch my videos you already know, but in case it's your first time watching them, I bake the center of my face, and I am a powder fiend. I just feel like it makes your makeup last so much longer when you use a lot of powder. So I tend to apply loads and then just use a setting spray to make it look more skin-like after. Okay, so for the rest of my face, I'm just gonna take a large face brush. This one is a Madison Makeup Brush M1. And then use whatever's left on my hand and then set the perimeter of my face with the same powder. So I don't think I actually have any new bronzers. So for my bronzer, I'm just gonna use my Benefit Hoola bronzer. I've been obsessed with this recently. And I'm taking a Zoeva 126 Luxe Cheek Finish Brush, which really needs a clean. So applying it on my forehead first. I love a nice bronzed forehead, as we all know. And then under my cheekbones, in my kind of temple area. A little bit on my nose. Basically my whole face. And then under my jaw. I don't know why I'm doing my face like this. Under my jaw as well. I actually love this shade of bronzer because it's not too warm and it's not too ashy. It's just And I always use this as an eyeshadow as well. So after I bronze, I like to take my beauty blender and basically I use whatever powder is left over on this to clean up my bronzer. So I go from the corner of my mouth to the top of my ear, and it just kind of sharpens it and cleans it up so the bronzer isn't too far down on my face. And by sharpening it up and cleaning it up, it kind of creates more of a contour to the face as well. Okay, so moving on to my blush, I'm going to use the Milani Baked Blush in the shade 05 Luminoso, and just apply that on my cheekbones, a little bit on my nose, and a little bit on my forehead. Pretty simple. So next up, moving on to highlighter, I'm going to use this one from Becca, and this is actually quite a new product. I got sent this a few weeks ago, and it was actually sent alongside the Glam Glow face mask products as well. So I think it was like a collaboration between Becca and Glam Glow. So this is the highlighter in the shade Rosé Glow, and I've used this quite a few times and I'm obsessed with the color. It's so nice. So using my Anastasia brush, you probably won't see this because whatever way my lighting setup is, you can never see my highlighter. So annoying. But I apply it like in this kind of C area here, and then on the bridge of my nose and a little bit on my cupid's bow as well. Okay, next we really need to move on to these eyebrows because look at the actual state of them. So for my brows, there's nothing new here. I'm going to use the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo, and this is in the shade Medium Brown. And I always brush through them first. This is the Anastasia, I think it's number 12 brush, but I brush through them first. And this one. So after I brush through them, I'm going to take my Inglot 13P eyeshadow brush. This is absolutely tiny and it's kind of rounded at the top there. So I used the lighter shade first, and use this brush for the beginning of my brows, just to kind of give them a soft beginning because I don't like when they're really harsh, and I don't like when they're squared off either. So this kind of stops the square shape forming. My brows are so uneven at the moment. I need to get them done. It's been actually months. I'm ashamed. And then for the rest of my brows, I take the angled brush on the opposite end of this brush here and use the darker shade, and then apply this color through any gaps in the middle and the ends of my brows. So basically the exact same, nothing has changed here. Okay, so after I apply the brow powder, I'm just going to use the Benefit Ready Set Brow Clear Brow Gel through them. And then after that sets, I go in with a brow pencil just to fill in any kind of stubborn gaps. And I always brush them up whenever I'm brushing through them or applying the clear brow gel, just to kind of lift the eye area. Moving on to my eyes, I'm going to use a new product, and this is the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions eyeshadow palette. Haven't actually used this yet. I've probably just stuck my finger in it and swatched it, but brand new, haven't used it. Love these colors, as you guys know. Warm browns, who doesn't love them? The first color I'm going to pick up is this one here, and I'm using a MAC 224 brush, and I'm going to apply this into the crease. Then I'm taking one of the Anastasia double-ended eyeshadow brushes that come in the palettes, and taking the same color, I'm just going to use this underneath my eyes. Okay, now what? Fuck. Right, so next, using the same palette, I'm just going to pick up this shade here with the opposite end of the Anastasia eyeshadow brush, so the fluffy end. And I'm applying this into the crease as well, but just more directly into the crease, and I'm not going to blend it up as far as the yellow color. So just around here. Ooh. Whoa, okay, just got a migraine. Ow, ow, ow. Then taking the same color with the same smaller brush, and again applying this as close to the lower lash line as possible. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to use the Dose of Colors Block Party eyeshadow in the shade Caffeine Queen, and this is amazing. So I'm going to use this with, again, the opposite end of the Anastasia brush, so the smaller eyeshadow brush, and apply this all over the lid of my eye. Okay, it's not really working with my brush, so I'm gonna use my finger instead. Yeah, okay, that's so much better. So now that we've applied the darker eyeshadow, I'm actually going to go in to this kind of rusty color again and just apply that into the crease to kind of make it a bit more intense in case we lost any from the darker shade. And then the exact same thing with the yellowy shade too. Just applying a bit more into areas that we might have lost some of the color. So before I actually forget and move on to the rest of my eyes, I'm just going to finish off my brows. So I'm using the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade Soft Brown. And like I said, I'm just filling in any gaps. Okay, so for my lower waterline, I'm going to use a kind of rusty shade to match in with the rest of the eyes. So I'm using this one here from Urban Decay. This is the 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Anatomy. So I'm just going to pop this right in here. And then for my upper waterline, I'm just going to use a black eye pencil. This one here is the YSL Eye Pencil in the shade 3, but you can just use any black eye pencil that you have. Okay, next I'm going to curl my lashes. This is a step I never ever skip. I'm not going to curl them too much because my eyelashes are actually quite long, and if I have them too curly then it's really hard to get false eyelashes on. So I'm just going to give them a really quick light curl so they're not poker straight. For my mascara, I'm going to use the Lancome Hypnose and use a lot of it. So I'm going to let that dry in before I start to kind of clean up any mascara that got on my lids. And I also remove it from my lower lashes because I don't actually like mascara on my lower lashes. So while that's all drying, I'm going to move on to my lips. So for my lips, I'm going to use a new lip liner, one that I've actually never owned before, and it's the MAC Oak lip liner. Really like it. It is more of a browny nude. I usually use Honey lip liner and that's more pinky, but this is really, really nice. I'll show you now, obviously. Okay, so for my lipstick, I'm gonna use MAC Honeylove and focus it more so in the center. That's quite dark nude lip. Gonna go with it anyway. So, Honeylove lipstick in the center of my lips. Okay, so to set my face, I'm gonna use this Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I actually only got this recently and I'm nearly finished the can of it. Like, it's so good. And then let that dry. So to finish off the makeup look, I am gonna put on a pair of false lashes. I'm not sure which ones yet, but I'm gonna apply them now off camera and then I'll show you which ones I chose. Okay, so I just popped on some eyelashes. The ones I used in the end were the Huda Beauty Samantha lashes, and I used the House of Glue eyelash glue to apply them. This stuff is insane. Your lashes do not budge. They're actually quite hard to get off even at the end of the day. It's really, really strong. And I was going to like completely style my hair as well for this whole look. However, I just clipped in my hair extensions and I actually kind of like the straighter hair. I know there's a bit of a like wave to it because my hair was curled yesterday, and I actually kind of like this look. So I'm gonna leave it the way it is. My hair extensions, like always, the ones I have been wearing for years, are the Foxy Lock Seamless Clip-ins, and I use the shade Latte Blonde, and I've actually toned them with purple shampoo to make them more ashy. I have a tutorial on my Instagram if you guys want to see how I tone the hair extensions to give them more of like an ash color. But I'll leave all of the information for my hair extensions in the description box down below if you guys want to check them out. If you're looking for hair extensions, highly recommend Foxy Locks. There's a reason why I've been wearing them for years. They're amazing. So yeah, I wear the seamless ones, which means you can't actually see them or they're less detectable in your hair, and they sit flatter onto the scalp as well, so they're not as bulky. So yeah, this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. Wasn't expecting to do a full-on look like this, but sure, why not? Very casual t-shirt, very full-on makeup, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're not already, then feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And that is pretty much it from me. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.